Good evening from the Channel's newsroom here in London. Hong Kong's chief executive has promised to move forward with a controversial extradition bill despite massive protests over the weekend. Hundreds of thousands of people marched against the bill, which critics fear allows China to target political opponents in the region. Organisers estimate that 1 million people took part in Sunday's march, although police put the figure at 240,000. Police used pepper spray to disperse protesters outside the territory's parliament building. Chinese state media said foreign forces were behind the protests. Carrie Lam has made minor changes to the bill, which could become law by the end of June, but has refused to scrap it, arguing it is needed to plug a long-standing loophole and will uphold justice.
This bill is not about mainland alone. This bill is not initiated by the Central People's Government. I have not received any instruction or mandate from Beijing to do this bill. The march yesterday on the government's amendments to 2 pieces of ordinance has been conducted in a generally peaceful and orderly manner. And I think this fully reflects the degree of civilization in Hong Kong society and reaffirm that the rights and freedoms of individuals, of journalists, etc., are fully protected and safeguarded under the Basic Law.
6 men have been convicted of the rape and murder of an 8-year-old girl by a court in India. The case sparked outrage and criticism of the country's ruling party after some of its members opposed charges against those found guilty. The girl from a nomadic Muslim community was drugged, held captive and sexually assaulted for a week before being killed. The prosecution lawyer gave the names of those convicted outside court. They include a former government official and 4 policemen. In an unprecedented move, 3 of Russia's leading newspapers have come out in support of a reporter charged with drug offences. The front pages were all identical and read, "We are Ivan Golunov." The investigative journalist was charged over the weekend with trying to sell drugs. His lawyer said the drugs were planted on him and he was beaten while he was arrested last week.
There are many criminal cases being opened in our country based on political motives, against people who are not guilty in what they are accused of. And Ivan Golunov's case proves that there is no freedom of press in Russia, and everything is really bad in this respect. And I hope we will continue to support Ivan, who is under house arrest now.
1 person has died and 6 others have been injured after a massive crane smashed into an apartment block in Texas.
Oh my God, the crane is falling over! Oh my God! Oh my God!
The construction crane was apparently pushed over by high winds before slicing through 5 floors of the apartment building in Dallas shortly before 2 in the afternoon. The building's parking garage was also heavily damaged. 2 people are still in a critical condition in hospital.
There was a massive bang and the power went out, and then I kind of went back outside of my balcony and just turned left and saw the crane had fallen down on top of the building.
And I just look up as I hear the metal bling, 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 and you just see the building, or the crane coming down into the building.
The man next door, he was yelling for help. I knocked on his door and he cracked it open enough for me to get to him, and I helped pull him out of his apartment.
The Boston Red Sox star David Ortiz has been shot in the back in the Dominican Republic. Dominican National Police say the incident occurred at the Dial discotheque in Santo Domingo, where he was born. His family confirmed in a statement that he sustained a gunshot wound to the lower back. The 3-time World Series champion is now recovering, having had surgery. And finally, New Zealand's main airline, Air New Zealand, have announced it is ending a ban on staff having visible tattoos. The move comes after the airline was accused of discriminating against Maori employees, many of whom have tattoos on their faces or arms to represent their heritage. Sydney Hirmeo was turned down for a customer service role with Air New Zealand after disclosing his tattoos and believes the policy change is right.
It felt contradictory for Air New Zealand to kind of, use our culture, where it fits. This issue is really about ensuring that the rights and freedoms of all Indigenous people are embraced and celebrated. It's a good thing that Air New Zealand have come to the party on that.
And that's your international news around the world in 5.